Cameroon commits to defend the integrity of its financial system with assistance from the World Bank as the country's first ever national assessment report reveals very high levels of money laundering and terrorism financing in the country. 5 separatist fighters in the northwest region surrendered to join the ranks in BAMENDA. Territorial Administration boss Paul Atanganji, on a security evaluation tour in the region, hails the move. Fans hold their breath a day to the Cameroon-Mali clash, projected to be one of the toughest in day 2 matches of the African Nations Championship. Capture their excitement in this newscast. And those are top stories. Good evening, viewers. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the 7:30 News in Yaoundé with me, Gladys Tata.
I have personally observed that most of our fellow citizens no longer comply with the protective measures prescribed by the government.
Prime Minister Joseph John Gute, chairperson of the National Road Board, has called on the different departments which intervene in the road construction chain to work in collaboration in order to reduce the long delays caused by the transfer of network installations from project sites. He made the call today in Yaoundé as he chaired the 24th session of the National Road Board, which held via video conferencing. The session focused on the management of networks on road project sites in urban areas. Star Building correspondent Christian Atam reports.
Many road projects in urban centers suffer long delays because construction companies spend time transferring water, electricity, telecom, and gas installations. It is thus important not only to look for a solution to these problems, but also to ensure the respect of the 2014 Prime Ministerial Decree regulating the installation of networks. These are the issues discussed during the 24th session of the National Road Board, chaired by Prime Minister Joseph John Gute. The Permanent Secretary of the Board, Antoine Esomba, revealed that many draft texts have been formulated in different ministries to improve the process. Different ministers concerned with the management of water, energy, and urban development presented efforts being made to address the situation. Prime Minister Joseph John Gute regretted that many projects in the country have suffered from problems posed by networks and poor maturation. He said the time has come for stakeholders to react promptly and efficiently. He has given instructions for better collaboration and has called for the respect of texts governing the installation of networks.
A bridge over the Lom River in Turaki near Betare Oya in the East region will soon see the light of day. The foundation stone of the bridge, whose construction is estimated at 9 billion CFA francs, has been laid by the Minister of Energy and Water Resources, Gaston Esomba Elondo, in the presence of the French ambassador to Cameroon, His Excellency Christophe Guilou. Elizabeth Mbombone tells us more from CRTV East in Bertoua.
By laying the foundation stone for the construction of a bridge over the Lom River, the people of Torake have joined the bandwagon to reap their own share of the environmental and social plan of the Lompanga Dam. The Torake Bridge, that will cover a distance of 140 meters, will be constructed within a 24-month period to the tune of over 9 billion CFA francs. Alongside the bridge, it was announced that some 15 kilometer stretch of road from Betare Oya to Torake will be rehabilitated thanks to funds from the French Development Agency.
The idea is to enhance the production of electricity.
Lauding the initiative of the French government, the Minister of Water and Energy Resources highlighted on the benefits of such a project to the population.
The construction of this bridge will facilitate the movement of the population, will facilitate the movement of their goods.
Dignitaries like the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reform, the East Regional Governor, the President of the East Regional Council, parliamentarians and elites of the locality, as well as a cross-section of the population, answered present.
And on to this lead story, Cameroon has just conducted its first national risk assessment on money laundering and terrorism financing. The assessment was carried out with the technical support of the World Bank in compliance with the relevant Financial Action Task Force recommendations and the relevant provisions of the country. And regulations of the 16th April 2016 on the prevention and suppression of money laundering and terrorist financing in Central Africa. The findings that were made public at the end of the restitution workshop for projects are a valuable guidance tool suitable to ensure the integrity of the national financial system. Constantine Baum reports.
The nation freely decided in late 2018 to launch its first national money laundering and terrorist funding risk assessment in order to better understand the threat to which the country is exposed and the vulnerabilities of its response mechanism. An interministerial committee went to work analyzing the period from 2014 to 2019. The 254-page report revealed that the level of money laundering risks in Cameroon was assessed to be high. According to the report, the team identified that poor capacity and insufficient resources to investigate, prosecute and try financial crimes and confiscate assets, lack of probity and independence of financial crimes investigators are some factors that make the anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism unit vulnerable. Terrorist financing was assessed as having a high risk level as well. The report proposed a priority action plan based on 4 thrusts, namely strengthening the legal and institutional framework, developing a national coordination framework, strengthening the control and supervision system for prevention actors, and improving the effectiveness of investigative and prosecuting authorities. The report is a testimony to the constant will and determination to Cameroonian authorities to acquire a mechanism which is not only compliant with international standards but also and above all the most suitable to ensure the integrity of the national financial system.
Terrorism is a complex and sophisticated phenomenon which uses unconventional and illegal methods with several sources of financing to attain its objectives. Just how can the sources of financing terrorism be mitigated is the subject of an investigation Kilian Dantdifon carried out. His findings in this newscast.
To control the sources that finance terrorism is difficult, but there are measures to disable the phenomenon. Money laundering is capital.
Modernization, promotion of bank accounts can be a way for a state to control the movement of money.
Trafficking in firearms, drugs and human parts fuel terror activities.
Concerning drugs and all the other trans-border traffic lead to have money, and that money can be used to finance terrorism.
Just classifying a group as terror can make the difference.
It is always missing a real political will at the level of state consensus to fight against terrorism. Why? Because it is not necessarily what a state A call terrorism that a state B will also call terrorism.
These measures apply everywhere else in the world, including Cameroon. So only a collective effort can control terrorism.
The Minister of Territorial Administration, who is on a security evaluation meeting in the Northwest region, has visited the checkpoint in Matazem in Babajou that was attacked recently by separatist terrorists, leaving 6 people dead. In a separate ceremony, Paul Atanganji handed 5 guns from separatist fighters to the Northwest Gendarmerie Legion commander. CRTV Special Envoy to Bamenda, Ebenezer Kanga, is trailing Minister Atanganji and filed this report from Bamenda.
On the 8th of January 2021, armed separatist terrorists attacked the joint checkpoint in the locality of Matazem in Babajou subdivision of the West region, killing 3 gendarmes, 1 police officer, and 2 civilians. On esteemed instructions of the head of state, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, visited the checkpoint to get first-hand information of what happened and how to prevent further attacks on checkpoints.
The instruction from the head of state is that people should remain extremely very vigilant, that the enemy is never asleep. We should not relent on the controls.
From Matasm, Paul Atanganji went to the esplanade of the Northwest Governor's Office, where he handed 5 guns from separatist fighters to the Gendarmerie Legion commander.
At 10:30 yesterday night, a group which was manipulated and causing havoc and atrocities in a village came yesterday and handed 5 of the guns they were using.
The minister called on other fighters who are still in the bushes to lay down their arms and join the DDR centers, assuring them that nothing bad will happen to them.
The Minister of Finance, Louis-Paul Mutaze, has hailed the contribution made by the microfinance sector to the national economy. He was speaking at the opening of a conference on financial inclusion organized with support from the German Embassy and partners aimed at strengthening related institutions for greater productivity. Details in the following report with Mokwele Princewill Aduma.
Cameroon-German cooperation reinforced through this conference that seeks to strengthen the stability of microfinances, as pointed out by Minister Louis-Paul Mutaze.
We have 519 billion of deposits in the microfinance sector and 374 billion of loans accorded by microfinance sector in our economy. And we have more than 400 microfinance institutions.
Through the German Embassy, Sparkassen shares its expertise of turning small finance institutions into instruments of economic impact.
We have the Southwest Village Bank Association, which was created as part of the Rupi project. That has been suffering because of the insecurity situation. This workshop gives us an opportunity to come out with strategies.
Financial inclusion, stakeholders agreed, however, goes beyond technical support.
We will provide finances in order to stimulate the sector.
Factoring social and financial balance in the national economic drive, experts say, is key.
The Intermediate Lions of Cameroon have expressed confidence prior to tomorrow's game against Mali at the Yaoundé Omnisport Stadium. The team held its last training session today ahead of tomorrow's outing. The warm-up at the Annex A Stadium of the Olembe Sports Complex focused on polishing up details in the different compartments of the team. Romeo Kenny followed the squad and now reports.
An ever-present staff to coordinate the team's activities. The outfit vehicle is set to get the players in. Security around the selection is intact and fans always there to beef up the morale of players. Dance steps from one of the players indicate takeoff for the stadium. The convoy crosses the town on the admiration of spectators. And upon arrival at the Olembe Annex A Stadium, the ambience in the dressing room tells how determined the squad is ready ahead of Wednesday's outing against Mali. This last training session is destined on polishing details at all compartments. Muzzles relaxation, one-to-one touch of the ball from Captain Jacques Zoua, Yannick Njeng, and defense lad Banga Bijime Salomon marked the first phase of the warm-up session. A victory against Mali will see the Intermediate Lions secure a quarter-final ticket.
We have been watching videos of past games of Mali, and we believe we can live up to expectation this Wednesday. We will focus on collectivity to win.
In the goalpost, the 4 keepers get last-minute lessons prior to the cracker. Tuesday's warm-up session was open to national and international pressmen.
Fans of the Auxiliary Lions keep fingers crossed as they hope their darling team will make use of home advantage to beat Mali in the first Day 2 match of the African Nations Championship tomorrow. Yaoundé streets have been flooded with expectant fans, not just from the Cameroonian side, but Mali as well, which many think is an adversary to watch out for. Sali Sona Tafaha has kept company with the fans who say they would turn out in their numbers to support their favorite teams.
As the tick-tock leads to Wednesday's game, pitting Cameroon against Mali, the excitement from fans is perceptible on the streets of Yaoundé.
I'll be at the start and have confidence for the Lions. I'm anxious against tomorrow's game.
Mali is a very tough team, but I think that the Indomitable Lions, because they play at home, they will win.
On either side, fans seem confident their teams will be victorious, given that Cameroon and Mali have invested a lot in terms of training and human resources to see that their teams emerge champions in the continental competition.
I have confidence in Banga. Tomorrow I'll give you 2 goals, you'll score 2 for Cameroon. Cameroon will win 3-1.
They will win 1-0 in favor of Cameroon.
For those who fail to get the match ticket, they will be connected to their homeboys on TV screens, most likely in public spaces.
The Lions Village, a leisure site in the heart of the nation's capital, designed to enable Cameroonians gather and celebrate was inaugurated today. An initiative of football veterans in Cameroon, led by Emmanuel V. Elemva. The village, situated next to the Charles Tangana Monument, will fan the flame of footballers in Cameroon. Ewane Pole tells us more.
The official inauguration of the Lions Village, situated at the Charles Tangana Monument in Yaoundé, comes barely 4 days after fans of the Lions assembled at the site to witness the opening game between Cameroon and Zimbabwe, which was a hope-raising performance of the intermediate Lions. The initiative of Khalif, a group of former Indomitable Lions led by Emmanuel V. Elemva, is to fan the flame of football.
We have realized that, around the competitions, we did not have any kind of entertainment environment where people can come and see games on those screens that you can see all over the site. Then there will be some coaches and former Lions who are going to be debriefing after the game.
The public arena dubbed Le Village des Lions Indomptables has been open for leisure and for city dwellers to watch the different matches during this period of the Chan Total Championship in Cameroon.
Africa, we are champions.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
We continue our series on anti-COVID-19 measures put in place in Group B and C in Douala to limit the propagation of the coronavirus after Group C matches were played yesterday. Let's take you over to Douala to join Baldwin Sama at the BAMENDA Omnisport Stadium with his guest, Dr. Leona Ewane, with updates. Hello, Baldwin.
Good evening. Once more, welcome to the BAMENDA Omnisport Stadium, where after Group B matches that were played, we had Group C matches that were played yesterday, and we will be discussing with our guest, Leona Ewane, a field epidemiologist, to find out from him if there were any cases of players or officials for the different delegations of Group C tested positive for COVID-19 before their first matches. So once more, good evening to you, Leona Ewane.
Good evening, Mr. Sama.
Tell us, after matches of Group C that were played yesterday, before these matches, the players, the officials were subjected to systematic screening for COVID-19. Were there any specificities throughout this screening process for these persons?
All the teams that were involved, the teams that played yesterday, all those teams and their officials were tested. During the testing, we've recorded very few cases of COVID. You know, players, before they are being selected, they carry out some medical checkups. So we recorded very few. And those cases that were positive, some of them have been isolated in the different hotels because all the necessary precautions were taken to be able to keep rooms at the level of hotels where they are so that they can easily be confined at the level of their hotel. You know, by so doing, they will limit the transmission chain. So that has been respected. And the cases that are positive have been put on treatment. And these cases have generated some contacts. So these contacts are currently being traced. So the whole system is ongoing.
Thank you so much, Leonard Ewane, for all those explanations. We will keep on reminding our viewers that all of these outline measures to limit the spread of the coronavirus nationwide are being implemented, and most of them are being respected by the different officials and members of the different delegations taking part in this ongoing African Nations Championship, especially the teams here in Douala, in the nation's economic capital. Back over to you, Gladys Tata.
Tomorrow will be another day in your company, Baldwin Sama. And the COVID-19 situation in the Central African sub-region has come under review via video conferencing in Yaoundé. Taking part are health experts of the coordination organ for the fight against endemic diseases in the Central African sub-region, plus Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, Manauda Malachi. They are exchanging on how to adopt a common strategy for the sub-region as far as rolling back the pandemic and promoting COVID-19 vaccines by the population is concerned. Beatrice Ngom has the details.
The anti-COVID vaccine, Minister Manauda Malachi says, could be a lasting solution to contain the pandemic in the sub-region. But health experts will have the task of convincing the population to accept the vaccine, and governments charged with ensuring easy access to the vaccine and at low cost, especially in the current context where barrier measures have been neglected and there is a new surge.
At the beginning of the years, we have the increase of the cases of COVID-19. We are trying to see with the SEMA country member, what can we do to fight against this? Maybe we can try to use vaccination to fight this.
Reflecting on a common strategy on how to tackle the pandemic in the sub-region, thus should preoccupy health experts as they brainstorm via video conference ahead of the Conference of Ministers of Health for the CEMAC, billed for January 22.
Some house employees and job seekers in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, have sharpened their skills on domestic and residential cleaning techniques during a 5-day workshop. Colette Jani of CRTV Center Regional Station reports that the workshop is organized by the Center Regional Delegation of the National Employment Fund and a house cleaning company.
The 5-day workshop, organized by the Center Regional Branch of the National Employment Fund in partnership with G Services, a house cleaning company, had as objective to perfect the cleaning techniques of new maids and cleaning employees.
We realized that most cleaning agents lack the appropriate cleaning skill for the job. Everything starts from a professionalization project. We realize a training deficit.
The participants were trained on hospitality, home safety and management, housekeeping, laundry management, just to name but these.
This is a real opportunity job seekers have to catch up and to see how they can tomorrow or after tomorrow take advantage of it and then be maybe self-employed or employed in structure while doing cleaning in different areas.
At the end, the job seekers are expected to acquire all of the necessary and required skills that it takes to professionally clean a residential home and other structures.
Rudy Lilian Thuram Hulien, former French football defender and sponsor of the first edition of Atelier Vinda, was guest at the Advanced School of Mass Communication, ASMAC, to talk with the third-year students on issues of racism and inequality. He engaged in a debate with the students and shared experiences on his latest publication, Mes Étoiles Noires. Cynthia Saptala completes that report.
Thuram's visit to the Advanced School of Mass Communication, ASMAC in Yaoundé, was to interact with young minds on the issues of racism and gender inequality. During a 2-hour debate at the campus amphitheater, issues such as the African perception of Africans and the Western influence on this perception were challenged.
I think a majority of youth have understood that you must question culture and habit. There are some who easily denounce these injustices without without doing any concrete actions. Youth need to know that they can provoke change for gender equality.
Et participer au changement de société.
Apart from presenting his latest published works, Turam also talked lengthily about gender discrimination, theme of the first edition of Atelier Mwinda. According to the author of the book, Mes Étoiles Noires, there are many important icons in black history that should serve as inspiration and prompt discussions for change on the real role played by the Negro in history.
And on to this advertorial, the first winner of the MTN Cameroon 2020 promotion for the entire northern part of the country has been named. He is Buba Issa of Beka neighborhood in Gaundare, who backs home with a Suzuki brand vehicle as reward for subscribing to an MTN bundle of 250 CFA francs. Elise Waji Banmia of CRTV Adamawa has more.
It is incredible but real. The name Buba Issa shall forever be recorded in the history of MTN Cameroon as the 12th winner of the Suzuki Expresso vehicle, one of several items offered to lucky winners of the promotion launched by the telecommunications giant.
I am very happy and surprised. It's a tradition for me to subscribe to an MTN bundle every morning. One day I received a call that I won a car from MTN. Initially, I did not believe, but after receiving many of such calls, I came to discover it's a reality.
The first winner of the vehicle in the entire Grand North, while thanking Allah for such a life-changing experience, equally brandished the car keys with MTN officials reassuring onlookers that they too can be part of such a celebration.
Only they do the recharge of 250, at least 250 francs, or they can do a mobile money transaction for at least 5,000 in their mobile account. Automatically they are eligible to win, whether 20,000 every 20 minutes, or they can win also a car.
The MTN promotion ends on February 19 with a possibility for loyal customers in the Adamawa and other regions to win a check of 20 million francs CFA.
In Bafoussam, the West region is endowed with natural sites that attract tourists and to that destination. In this newscast, countless lakes and waterfalls meander through the picturesque hills and make for a beautiful ride across the 8 divisions of the region. Chanceline Nancy shows us around the amazing landscape of a region also rich in cultural values.
Situated 9 kilometers from Fumbot in the Nun division is Lake Pet Penun. The water body presents a paradisiacal view. The calm atmosphere, amplified by the surrounding vegetation, makes it a perfect place for relaxation and reflection. No wonder a resort has been constructed around the lake for this purpose. Still in the Nun division is found the Magba Crater Lake. It came into being after construction works on the Meche Reservoir and is sandwiched by 3 regions, the Northwest, the West, and the Adamawa. Lake Magba is habitat to hundreds of thousands of fish, and this has made the area an economic hub in the Nun and an ideal destination for lovers of fresh fish. Over in Chang, Menwa Division, is the Chang Municipal Lake seated in the heart of the town. These are just a few of the many water bodies dotted all over the West region, some of which are believed to have mystical powers and can only be visited by the initiated or after being granted permission by traditional authorities.
And those beautiful scenarios since then, the West region draws the curtains on this edition of the 7:30 News. Join Aden Bala at 8:30 for the news in French and hope to be in your company same time tomorrow. Until then, it's bye from all of us on the 7:30 crew. Good night.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
CRTV News, ici, toute l'info.
Un sommet pour la tête. Entre lions indomptables et aigles qui veulent voler plus haut pour échapper aux griffes du fauve. Cameroun-Mali, ce mercredi sur CRTV et sur CRTV Sport à 17h. Venez, vivez, vibrez.